It was a cool autumn evening in 2007 when Sarah moved into her new house with her two children. The house was quaint, nestled at the edge of the woods, with a large backyard that boasted an old, weathered swing set. The previous owner had mentioned that the swing had been there for decades, a favorite spot for children who once lived there. On the second evening, as Sarah was preparing dinner, she noticed something strange. The swing closest to the woods was moving. It was a gentle sway at first, but there was no wind. She thought it might be one of her kids, but when she looked closer, they were both inside, engrossed in their games. She shrugged it off, assuming maybe a breeze had picked up outside. Over the next few nights, the swing moved again. Always the same one, and always around sunset. Sarah began to feel uneasy. One evening, she decided to check for herself. As she approached the swing, it slowed to a stop. She reached out and touched it, feeling the cold metal chain, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Still, she couldn't shake the growing feeling that something was watching her. A few days later, Sarah spoke with her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, hoping to find out more about the house and its past. That's when she learned the chilling truth. The swing belonged to a little girl who lived here many years ago, Mrs. Henderson said. She used to play on it every evening until one day, she vanished. Her parents searched for her for days, but they never found her. The only thing they ever saw was that swing, moving by itself at dusk, just like you described. Disturbed, Sarah rushed home. She stood at her kitchen window, staring at the backyard. The sun had begun to set, casting long shadows across the yard. As if on cue, the swing started to move again, this time faster, as if someone were sitting on it. Her heart raced. She ran outside, her breath fogging in the cool air. The swing slowed as she approached but didn't stop. Suddenly, she heard a faint giggle, the soft sound of a child's laughter carried on the wind. Sarah froze. She turned to leave, but the giggle grew louder, echoing all around her. And then she saw it. A brief, ghostly image of a little girl, sitting on the swing, looking straight at her with empty, hollow eyes. Terrified, Sarah backed away, but the girl remained, her form slowly fading away as the swing came to a stop. From that night on, Sarah refused to go near the swing set, but every evening at dusk, she would glance out the window and see the swing move on its own, forever haunted by the presence of the little girl who had never left. And to this day, anyone who lives in that house claims the swing still moves, even when no one is around.